tenemos la certeza de querer pegar dos. Y así.
You know, preparation. Preparation is the number one key. We prepare. We train for this in the gym. We know that we're more than likely going to be the smaller guys. So, you know, a lot of preparation, a lot of shadow boxing, a lot of footwork. Shadow boxing is very important in our training. The footwork is always key. And I'm a great counter puncher, and I know that. So a lot of times, although they are, you know, longer or bigger fighters, you know, I wait for them to make that mistake of reaching or throwing that shot, and it just falls right into my lap where I can come right in with a counter shot and stay in the pocket.
Good answer, because a lot of young fighters need to know how to get in the pocket and be successful. And once they run across someone with length, they don't know what to do. So they can easily watch Christian's fights and kind of see how that's done, because the preparation is geared toward that. So thank you for that answer.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I've been muting some of these some of the audios to see. I don't know where that feedback's coming from. So also, Christian, you know, like, what adjustments do you think are going to be needed in this fight versus the last couple of fights you've had? You've faced Mason Bernard. You stopped him in the second round. You faced Iron Alvarez. You TKO'd him in the 10th round. Your last outing was against Louis LeBron. You got a 10-round unanimous decision with scores of like 98-92, 97-93, and 99-91. So you really are on a major role fighting top opposition. And I wonder what kind of adjustments you need going forward for this next fight.
Cristian, tú has tenido en tus últimos 3 combates una oposición pues bien, como se dice, competitiva, bien dura. Y lo que tú has hecho en el cuadrilátero es una cosa pues maravillosa, ¿verdad? Mason Menard pues, lo destrozaste en 2 rounds. El cubano pues fue, ya tú sabes, una lección de boxeo, y en el 10º round todavía tener esa resistencia, esa pegada para poder ponerlo y terminarlo, ¿verdad? Por TKO. Y la última pelea con Luis LeBron, que sabemos que es un peleador pues que viene para adelante, que es bien fuerte, que acaba de derrotar a una persona en vista. Y tú le ganaste pues una pelea por unánimas decisiones, pero bien abierta, tú sabes, 99-91, 98-92, unos números pues bien impresionantes. ¿Cómo pues de esos triunfos pues tú puedes escoger para esta victoria de ahora que estás tratando?
¿Cuál de las 3 ha sido la más de eso?
¿Cómo tú puedes llevar esa experiencia a este combate?
He tenido, pues, Menal es un boxeador que me fue para frente, Popeye igual, Iron, pues, también, siendo más largo, fueron para el frente, y el rival que vamos a enfrentar es un rival que mete mucha presión, que va para el frente también. Esa experiencia que ya tuve, pues me van a ayudar mucho para esta. También pues, se puede decir que son mejores, tienen mejor técnica en cuestión de combinaciones. A lo mejor tiran menos volúmenes, pero tiran mejores combinaciones, que me va a ayudar bastante en cuestión de esa estrategia que vamos a usar para poder salir con esa victoria.
So, you know, as you know, all 3 of those fighters that I faced were pressure fighters, especially Maynard and Luis LeBron. You know, they were come forward type fighters, big punchers. So, you know, it's going to prepare me for this fight. You know, Fernando, being a Mexican fighter, coming forward, you know, trying to throw hard combinations. So you know, it's definitely all a preparation for this fight. And you know, with that being said, we know we're more than well prepared for the victory.
Right. So listen, I want to thank you. Thank you for being with us, Christian Tapia. Thank you so much. Good luck on your fight. And I cannot wait to see you in the ring on July 23rd at the Fillmore in Philadelphia, man. Thank you so much for being with us, Christian. It's awesome.
Cristian, gracias por estar aquí, gracias por compartir con nosotros. Estamos locos de verte de nuevo el 23 este sábado en el Fillmore y gracias por tu presencia. Thank you and blessings to everyone.
Okay, take care, Christian. Buena suerte. Okay, and
Gracias.
so Manny, we wanna get our next guest in here, man. He's also from your promotion. We want to get in Jeremy Cuevas, 13-1, has not been in the ring for just about 2 years and is coming back for the Philly fans. They are in for a big treat in Jeremy Cuevas. So without further ado, man. Let's welcome Jeremy Cuevas into the studio. What's up? What's up? What's up, Jeremy?
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's up? How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm. Life is, I mean, made good turns for me, and I'm really happy.
Yeah,
That's great.
you sound so peaceful right now. You sound like so
Yeah, I'm
peaceful
not
and so
sucked in.
yeah. That's what's up, man. That is what's up, man. So we are delighted to have you. This is the first time we've had you on the Boxing Breakdown, and you're coming in clear as a whistle. It sounds great. I'm thankful that you're here. If you're listening in and you're tuning into the podcast, thank you for being with us. If you are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, thanks for joining us. And you are listening to the Boxing Breakdown, and we have in the studio Jeremy Cuevas, 13-1. He's going to be appearing on the Hard Hitting Promotions mega card, I call it. I don't know if that's overstating or not, but it is an amazing, amazing card coming up on July 23rd at the Fillmore in Philadelphia. Philly fans, y'all better get ready because it's going to be an amazing evening of boxing. Jeremy, I need to ask you, man, you know, who is this opponent? Who are you facing?
Well, uh, what we know about him, he's an Argentinian guy, I believe, and I think he's about 17 and 7, something like that. Um, but you know, according to the record, somebody may look at him and say, "Oh, you know, he's gonna go in there and do this and that." But I'm taking him very seriously, and I got 100% effort focused in on this guy, and I'm excited for this fight, like very excited, and I can't wait to go in there and show everybody all the stuff that I've been working on, all my hard work, um, all the people that were behind me and everything like that. I can't wait to just it pays off in the ring. I'm really excited to show everybody that.
Yeah, man. So what do you I mean, besides knowing that he's from Argentina, have you studied any film on this guy?
Yeah, absolutely. I forget the last guy for. I think it was a Puerto Rican guy in Florida, and I was watching him and tough guy, but I've been in there with tough opponents already, and I'm ready. And the great thing about this is that I've got great sparring in this camp. Sparring with former world champion Tevin Farmer a lot of rounds,
Good work.
sparring with other professionals who have great records, Dayon Butts,
Mm,
all type of guys, you know, and it's just been really great for me because I've been able to see what exactly I have in the tank, and that was awesome to see that for me. So I'm really excited to just get in the ring and just show myself and show what I've been doing.
yeah, man. Harold,
Yes.
have you seen Jeremy go? Have you seen him fight?
I have not. I noticed that you're coming back, on a small little layoff there. And I got a question for you. I know you probably been sparring all that time, but is in your mind, is there a way to kind of train yourself to take punches at that level, or do you get that kind of work in the gym, or is it just a mental thing that you use? What's
Uh,
your thoughts on that?
in terms of the fight itself,
Yes, yes.
well, you're gonna think I'm crazy, right? But I don't know. I like to get hit a little bit during the fight. It kind of gets me going. Like, all right, I see this is a real deal. But you get hit in sparring and being within the type of fighters that I've been in there with this whole training camp. You've been hit hard. You've been hit with different angles of punches. You've been hit with this and that. So a punch is a punch. I got 14 fights already. I've been hit by the 8-ounce gloves. I've been hit by the 16-ounce gloves. I've been hit with everything. So I'm really excited to just go in there, do my thing, and I know I'm going to be more than ready.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Because I heard of some fighters put what pickle juice on their face,
Yeah,
marker, all
yeah.
kind of crazy stuff
Should
to
have put
kind
it.
of.
I should have put
Pickle
it for this
juice.
cut.
The heck?
Yeah, it tightens your skin up.
So there's also so many remedies to when you first come back from a small little layoff on how to be prepared for that kind of jolt. But obviously, you've been in the gym a lot, as you just said. It's a mental thing, and you use that as motivation. So the way you approach it is really positive.
So who's
Thank
giving
you.
you the toughest sparring so far in camp?
Well, we thought we were going to be fighting a southpaw. I've been sparring left-handed guys, right-handed guys. I was sparring all of the above, but we thought we were going to have a southpaw opponent. So we started really like locking in with Tev,
Right.
and he he's just a real crafty, tricky fighter. And what I admire the most about him is not nobody ever like is so much to me in the ring, no matter who they are, is never so much to me where I'm like, oh my God, like I've never seen that before.
Right.
But what I admire about the fighters with such like high credibility in the sport is that they know exactly when to get calm, exactly when to pick it up, exactly when to calm it back down. So all these things are things that I wasn't learning before and that I'm now learning. And being in there with world champions and former world champions and fighters that I used to watch when I was younger, like Mikey Perez and things like that.
Right.
It's just awesome for me. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. I've got right-handed work, left-handed work, both work, switch work, all type of work. So I'm really excited. I'm
Yeah,
really
that's
excited.
that, to a fight. For those of you that are tuning in that aren't really understanding what Jeremy might have said, I just wanted to go a little deeper into that. So you're talking about, Jeremy, about slowing down the fight. So the fighter wants the guy you're fighting wants to pick up the fight, and yet you can in your technique and in your skill sets, you can literally slow that fight down. Is what you're
Yes,
talking about, right?
absolutely. Tevin Farmer was telling me the other day that he was watching me sparring. He was giving me such great advice on like how to slow things down, how to pick things up, how
Mm,
to do about a mid-level, and how to control that opponent's mind without even touching them. So it
right.
was just really awesome, and it's just information that I feel like you know is in um innumerable. I don't know
Invaluable,
how to
invaluable,
invaluable. Yeah,
invaluable is
yeah,
what you're trying to
invaluable.
Valuable,
say.
yeah,
Yeah, man. I get it.
it
We all
is.
get it.
Yeah,
And to get that kind of quality sparring, that's not average sparring. That's not going
that's
to
what
a
I'm
local
saying.
gym and boxing with some dudes. That's getting, world championship level quality sparring, which
Absolutely.
really, I mean, Manny, you must be super excited to hear that that's the kind of level of sparring that Jeremy's getting, because that speaks to right to the ability of him being able to face tougher opposition as he goes forward, right?
No, absolutely. Listen, first and foremost, I'm just happy he's back. I'm happy he's back. I think boxing has come full circle for him, meaning the business and the sport in general. Um, more importantly, his life, you know, is now in a state that life has come with a purpose now. You know, he has,
Yeah.
he has committed to himself. He's recently engaged.
Oh,
Oh,
You know,
congratulations.
congrats.
I don't know if you wanted
Yeah.
me to say all that, but I
It's
just
all
know
good.
with
I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of
absolutely.
her.
Yeah. So me as a man and
Look at that smile.
understanding the importance of, you know, what needs to happen outside of a ring for a fighter to be 100%, not just physically but mentally inside of the ring. Those are the important things, you know. Um, and I know he's there. I know he's 100% there. You know, I have not witnessed one of the sparrings, but I'm always, you know, in tune, and I'm always talking to the trainers, and I know that he's, you know, he's probably at the best he's been. Another thing that Jeremy is very humble, so a lot of things that he's not going to tell you. Jeremy has been in camp with Tank Davis. Um, you know, getting that type of quality of work where
Mm,
Tag Davis was, you know, sending guys, sparring partners home early.
right.
Uh, you know, Jeremy was the sparring partner that, you know, they capped. They loved the work. They loved the you know, the type of quality that of work that he was giving them.
Mm,
So, you know, he's been there with the best. He's been there with the best. Um, and I think right now his life just completely has come full circle where, you know, we're gonna see, you know, Jeremy and the man, the future champion that I always believed he was from you know, from his childhood days of being in the amateurs. You know, I was that guy that was there in his amateur fights and saw him when nobody saw the potential. And I'm just happy he's back. I'm happy he's back. You know, to what he was saying. You know, it was not an easy road to get him an opponent. Guys were saying yes, they were dropping out, undefeated guys with big records, this and that, and you know, in the 10th hour, you know, we had to go across the pond and do what we had to do to secure a good and tough fight. You know,
yeah.
uh, Jeremy was saying that his last opponent, you know, was in Florida. Well, his last opponent was Top Rank's fighter. Um, I forget his name, Puerto Rican kid that just lost.
Nestor Hugo.
Correct.
His last pronunciation I can't do so, but yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, you know, this guy has fought top oppositions. He is a tough test. Somebody that I would not put in front of um, unless I know what they have, unless I know they're ready. And although Jeremy has had that layover, that long layoff, I'm sorry, um, you know, I know he's more than ready. I know he's more than ready. It's his time to shine, and the world is about to see it on July 23. Once again, this is another fight that I could guarantee you would be a main event on any other card. You know,
No, no doubt, no doubt. And I said that at the top of the program. I'll say it again. You know, the last couple of fights, and Harold, you were in the arena to call. I don't know if it was it wasn't the last fight. It was the fight before that we were in the arena
Right.
calling
I
that
called
fight.
it.
Yeah, man. I
Thank you,
mean,
Manny, for
yeah,
having
like
me there.
every fight was better than the next fight. I mean, than the last fight. It's just one fight
Mm-hmm.
after the other. The guys were in there banging, you know, putting everything on the line, and the fans were just, you know, they left. They got their money's worth. It was a fabulous evening. Having at the Showboat, and now here he is in the Fillmore doing it again. And I'm telling you, you know, I love boxing. I love
well, the last
boxing.
fight was at Live Casino, Mark. I'm sorry to cut you off. The
Yeah,
last fight was at Live Casino in Philadelphia.
no, I'm talking about 2 fights ago. So I'm
Oh,
saying
well.
what I'm suggesting
They're all good. They
yeah,
were all good.
that's what I'm saying. But I'm here to tell you that they are all good. I mean, you could say
Thank
that,
you, thank
it's
you.
your promotion. But I'm
Yeah,
saying that and legitimately the cards are very competitive, and like when you see Jeremy get in the ring, it's gonna be a fight. He's gonna be
I have to
fighting.
give credit. I have to give credit. Sorry to cut you off, Mark, very quickly, but I have to give credit to that to my great partner and brother. I mean, although we don't
Will.
come from the same mother, but my great brother and partner Will Ruiz. I got to give the nod to him for this unbelievable way of knowing and understanding the principles of what makes a good fight. Sometimes you could put two undefeated fighters, and it just does not turn out
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Manny, I got to step in on you right quick, man. Of course, great card. I don't know how you get one fight. I mean, fighters that are undefeated or they have one loss. But I noticed that you've been a matchmaker since 2015. You and your boy Will Ruiz, you guys did a show in Philly at the Sheet Metal Workers Hall, man. That was a minute ago.
That was the first pro fight I've ever went to.
So that inspired this gentleman right here. You've built a track record of great cards since then. I mean, that is a while back. Can you just give me the feeling of having your first one at that place?
I'm gonna tell you, Harold. It's funny you mentioned that fight. It was I remember it was October of 2015. It was Mischief Night. We called it Mischief Mayhem. I cannot forget it. That fight was supposed to be canceled. We had the blizzard of 2015 that year.
What?
The commission calls us a few days before the fight. Manny, we're canceling the fight, right? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? He's like, what do you mean, no? Everything has already been shut down. I mean, businesses, everything is being shut down.
Right.
We have this big blizzard coming. And I said, good, one of the best commissioners I've worked with, Greg Serve. I said, Greg, I understand where you're coming from, but let me tell you something. These fighters have worked their butts off. We, the promotional team, have worked our butt off. If nobody attends at this point, it's not about making money or losing money. I'm going to lose whatever it is anyways. But please, sanction the show. Even if it's just us. I'll get you a hotel, whatever it needs. And, Greg said, you know what, Manny? You got it, bro. Like, nobody says that. You have the perfect excuse of canceling the show. And, you want to do it because these fighters are ready. Let's do it.
Just the name Sheet Metal Workers Hall is like, wow.
Great people. Great people there.
Jeremy, okay. Everything was shut down. How did you get yourself there? Did you have Huskies drag you there? How did you get there?
Let me tell you, Mark. Let me finish the story so you understand why everybody got there. It was a packed house. It ended up being a packed house. Why?
Really?
Yes, this is what I'm telling you. The blizzard was supposed to fall. I believe the fight was Saturday night. The blizzard was supposed to fall Thursday night into Friday morning, all Friday, Saturday, and all morning of Saturday, no traffic, no. As the days went on, it moved till Friday night, Saturday morning. The fight is Saturday. That's when Greg called me, like, we can't do this. I said, we're going to have, I gave you the story. We went on. No snow Friday night. The morning, I remember waking up like a little kid at Christmas, looking out my window. This is my first show. This is my first show. I'm putting my life savings on this. You know, I'm looking out the window, not a bit of snow. I'm thanking God the whole time. So, okay, great morning. We start off. Bottom line was the snow did not start falling till 7 o'clock. Everybody was already in the venue when the snow started falling. We had 4 feet of snow by the time the fights were done, but everybody enjoyed those fights.
Wow.
Yes, yes. Hey, Jeremy, how did you get there? What did you do? How did that? That was 5 years ago. That was a long time ago. How old were you then? What influenced you?
I'm 26 now. I might have been
That was 7 years ago.
Wow.
7 years ago. Wow, I was like, I don't know, 19. I'm not real good at math. But I think I went there with my father, and that was my first pro fight that I attended. And
Wow.
and I went with my father, who you know what I'm saying, right now he going through a big turmoil in his life, you know. And he actually just went back out to the hospital now, so we thought he was gonna be you know, good to come to the fight. But you know, I'm anybody who's listening, and to you guys who are interviewing with me,
You
if
already
you
know.
guys can just, you know, shout your prayers out, and I would appreciate that. And you know, this fight is gonna be for him, and it's gonna be for my fiance, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to give it all every time I'm in there. That's why people say my fights are so exciting, because I give it all when I go in there. That's it.
Hey man.
Great,
Well,
great,
first
great.
of all, our prayers will be with you and your family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they really will. And please, if you're listening in, you know, just if you are so inclined, please say a prayer for Jeremy and his family. And man, I want to
Thank
thank you, Jeremy, for being with us, bro. And we wish you luck. We know that you're going to come prepared for whatever you face in the ring, and we are so excited to be there to see you and witness your greatness in the ring. Thank you for being on the Boxing Breakdown. And I just want to say that just in about a couple seconds, we're going to go to a quick little commercial break. And then when we come back, we are going to have Giancarlos Rivera coming into the Boxing Breakdown. So stay tuned. And Jeremy, peace and love, man. Be well. Okay.
Thank
brother?
you, man. Thank
God
you.
bless you,
Peace,
Jeremy.
man.
God bless you, man.
All right, you too.
Okay. Stand by. And,
Let me go. I've been going through so much, I swear these people at my throat. That's on me, that's on mamas. On my mama, I can't take no more, so miss me with that drama. Get your commas, get your rec straight, get your facts straight. Hold me down, I rise up on her like the tax rate. Keep my past straight, never lack faith. God been working, they gon' have to hold me back, man. And tell them, you can pick a side if you wanna. You already know who I roll with. You don't want no problems with me. Get these shackles
on my feet, yeah, they won't let me be. Won't you set me free? Pray this on me.
yes, yes, yes. And welcome back to the Boxing Breakdown. And thank you for tuning in on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. And we have in the Boxing Breakdown currently Giancarlos Rivera, 5-1-0. He is going to be fighting on July 23rd at the Fillmore. He will be facing Nelson Perez, who's 5-0. Again, we've been talking about this the entire program. You've got a 5-1 guy facing a 5-0 guy. Like, what better fight could you possibly want? The fighters are challenging themselves. Giancarlos Rivera, man, I'm gonna take my hat off to you, because here's why. Because you are stepping into the ring and facing a dude who's 5-0. Like, who does that? Congratulations and welcome to the Boxing Breakdown.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, man. So welcome. Man, I got a question for you guys. I'm hot to ask you. Okay, you're a southpaw, right? All
Yes.
right. Now the word is southpaws. No one wants to fight a southpaw. Lennox Lewis never fought a southpaw. All of this. So that makes you dangerous already. Okay. How do you use that southpaw to your advantage? You know, I believe I saw some footage of you a while back. Aren't you a switch hitter?
Yeah.
So being a southpaw, how does that help you? I mean, how do you use that? How do you, you got that natural angle because you're a southpaw. I mean, how do you put it in the play for your game?
Man, I just go in there and have fun, to be honest. I just follow the direction they told me in the corner and just go out there and have fun.
Oh, that's
So you
up.
just do it naturally. You're not even really calculating that you're left-hander. You just go in there, take your training, and just apply it. Hey, that's a great mindset.
Yo, Harold. So Giancarlos is from he's from Vieques, Puerto Rico, bro. Like, have you ever been to Vieques? Have you ever been there?
No.
Anybody? Manny, you been to Vieques?
I have not had the pleasure. John Carlos is our second fighter from that beautiful little island off the coast of Puerto Rico, main island, from Vieques, but I have not had the pleasure to be there.
Yo, that island, first of all, is one of the most priceless, special places on the planet. So, Giancarlos, I'm jealous. Now, did you grow up there? Did you live there? Like, when did you come to Philadelphia?
Yeah, I came to Philadelphia when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
I grew over there and everything.
Dang, that's amazing, man. Yo, if you're listening in, all you guys listening in, bro, if you haven't been to Vieques, you got to go there, bro. It is amazing.
I hear the beaches are off the hook.
It's beautiful down there, man.
Tell them, Giancarlos. Tell them what it's like, and tell them what it's like in Vieques.
The water. Tell me about the water.
It's
and the
clear.
Yeah.
Like, you see anything coming.
Yo,
no pollution, I hear. You know, it's where there's no pollution coming from the ocean. It's still pure as it was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Giancarlos, listen. So you said the water is blue. It's clear. It's like you can see everything coming. I wonder if it's the same against your opponent, Nelson Perez. Is that how that's going to go down? You think you're going to be able to see everything when you face off with him?
Man,
that's good,
I'm
Mark.
just going to have fun in there. I just can't wait. You feel me? I'm excited to be back. I fought in the last card on the live casino, and it was fun. I just can't wait to be back, man.
Man, first of all, you're fighting on a great card. The Philly fans,
yes.
you know how they are because you already fought there, so you know the Philly fans are unlike any other fans, and they are very educated in boxing. They know what they're looking at, and they get rowdy, but they really appreciate good fighting, and so it's going to be something to watch you square off against Nelson Perez. Now, what tools are you planning to bring? I mean, maybe you don't want to tell us, but for the listeners, if you can give us something like, what are you going to bring to the ring when you face off against Nelson Perez?
First of all, we're just going to go in there and check him out first, be smart about it. But I know I got all the tools to beat him, and I'm just going to have fun when it's time, Just get in there and be ready to go ahead.
So you also fought in the bubble. Yeah. Go ahead, Manny. Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. You guys might not understand why Giancarlos is all smiles and says he's just gonna go in there and have fun. You know who Giancarlos' main sparring is?
Who?
Jaron Boots Ennis.
What? That's his main sparring?
Giancarlos' trainer is the great Bozy Ennis.
Oh my gosh!
So
that's what's up. That's why he's got that big grin on his face.
Yeah.
Okay, we understand.
And when I tell you, I've been part of those sparring sessions. When I tell you, Boots does not hold anything. He does not hold anything. and Boots loves sparring with him. So I tell you, I tell you that's why to him, 5-0. Why are you doing it? You're 5-1. You know, why would you do that at so early? I'm in there with the best in the world
The
every
best.
day,
Yeah.
every day. So what can you do to me that
That
I have
hasn't
not
already been
seen?
done.
Exactly. There's nothing. This is a walk in the park. It's like somebody that chews concrete. You're gonna give them a piece of cupcake, and you're gonna say, "Are you gonna have problems eating that?"
Right. Right. No,
Easy
I mean,
work.
yeah, and
Yeah, easy
Giancarlo's.
work.
Well, Giancarlo's
Man, I
has got
want
a
to see that.
57.14% KO ratio. So, about half of the guys he squares off against, he puts to sleep. So,
Yeah. No,
I
John
mean,
Carlos is only lost for people that don't know. Well, you're 5-1. Who could you have possibly lost that was that good? So early in your career. Well, it was a great, a big mistake that was done. In his career. At such an early thing, they put him with an Olympian at 147 pounds. Guy was like 6'2". Just really just pop shot him, stood away. Really didn't do nothing to him, but he just had that much experience, that much size over him. The weight wasn't, it was a whole weight class and above. And he just basically pop shot him and stood away from him and got the
yeah.
victory.
Mhm.
So you could understand that's why he has a loss, which to me it doesn't even come into the equation.
But let me
Yeah.
tell you why I'm impressed. Just being in there with Boots, the mental thing that you have to go through, not just the physical stuff, the ring IQ he has to use just to not be beat up by Boots day to day to day. And if Boots keep calling you in there, that means you're challenging him with the boxing IQ, not only the IQ, but the physicalness. So I'm more impressed at this point with his mental sparring with Boots, looking at each other, looking for these openings, using all that. And, that's sublime. So, like we just said, he's going to definitely outthink this guy. And obviously, physically, he's going to be in great shape. So, I'm really, really impressed just because of who he spars with. And if he's a consistent sparring partner to this guy, he's on point.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you look at Jean Carlos's record, and one thing that sticks out to me that's really, it's glaring. If you actually look at his resume, it's glaring because the fight against Quinton Randall, Randall came into that fight. He was 6-0. He came into the fight, but that was also during the COVID pandemic. It was like right at the height of the pandemic. He fought in the bubble. And for those, like I was in the bubble. I had a fighter that I was part of the team. We fought in the bubble. That experience.
So was I, yeah.
Yo, that experience alone, for those of you tuning in that are listening, I want to bring you into this podcast, right? What you don't understand is that, being in the bubble, first of all, you have to travel from the East Coast all the way to Vegas. You see probably 2 or 3 flights that you have to take to get there. Once you get there, and you're masked the whole time, once you get there, you go in, you check in, you go into a room, and you don't leave. The only time you leave is to go get food, and you have to be retested on the way back. And then you're in your room. So it's literally like being like sequestered in jail. Like you're in a cubicle, you can't go anywhere, and then you walk down the gauntlet. You're in the dressing room, you're getting ready. There's probably like 1 commissioner, 2 commissioners, and then you and your team, 1 or 2 team members, everybody's masked. You walk down this little ramp gauntlet into the arena, and it's dead silent. It's literally dead silent. And you go into the arena and you're like, where the hell am I? And you're out of shape. You're not the way you're supposed to be. You're on national television. Am I right, John Carlos? Am I right about that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, man. So that one, and it wasn't. It was a unanimous decision loss. It was not a KO. It was not, a dramatic stoppage of any sort. The scores were 59 to 55, 56 to 58, and 56 to 58. So I mean, really, you listen. All I'm saying is buyers beware. If you're gonna fight John Carlos, you have to really look at that record. Make sure you peek his record so you know who you're facing, because it could get rough in there for you, especially with sparring partners like Boots Ennis.
Yeah, I mean, I love sparring Boots, man. I learned a lot from him. It's a great experience, and anything I need help with, I always ask him, and he helped me out.
Right. So listen, Giancarlos, what I want you to tell me, or tell us that are listening, that are with you, and those listening in, especially your fans, friends, and family in Philadelphia and in Puerto Rico. What is it that you want to say to them about your upcoming fight?
What I want to tell them, just to tune in, man, cause it's gonna be fireworks, and it's gonna be an exciting fight, man. It's gonna be crazy.
I can
Yeah.
see it in your face, man, and your excitement.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Manny cheesing just as hard as you are, so you guys are going to be on point, man.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And last, but not least, I want you to tell the listeners and all of our friends in PR, right? Who is your favorite Puerto Rican fighter of all time?
My favorite Puerto Rican fighter is the Camacho.
Hector of all time.
Oh,
Oh, Hector Macho Camacho. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow. You and I got to chat offline during the fight, bro, because that's one of my top 5 fighters. Yeah, I love
Man, all the time he fights is an assignment, man.
that.
All the
Yeah.
time.
It's a show.
Is that before the Rosario fight or after the Rosario fight? Because he was a different guy after the Rosario fight.
Yeah.
I like the guy after the Rosario fight because he was more sensible. Before the Rosario fight, he was just taking everybody out, right? The hand speed, Manny, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
so
you're right.
There was 2 Macho Camachos, so good choice. Personally, I like Cotto. Cotto was a monster, man.
Yeah, he is. He was a monster.
I like Cotto.
Yeah, he good.
Giancarlo.
I like Tito Trinidad too, man. He had that crazy ass hook.
Oh
He
yeah,
had that hook.
There's too many of them out there, man.
Yeah, definitely had the hook in the box for sure, Giancarlo. Yeah, I mean his hook was sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You picked some good ones there for sure, man. And so Puerto Rican fans, American fans, Philly fight fans, you all are in for a great a great night of boxing with Giancarlos. It's going to be something special. And yeah, man, I hope you guys can get there to the fight. It is on July 23rd at the Fillmore hotel and venue in Philadelphia, and it's going to be an amazing fight. And you can get your tickets. Giancarlo, you know where to get the tickets?
I don't know the name of the page, the link. But
let me throw it up, Giancarlo. The tickets are available at the FillmorePhiladelphia.com or at Ticketmaster.com. And don't forget, Manny talked about this at the top of the program. If you guys want to tune in tomorrow, there's going to be a restream broadcast of the March 12th, 2020 card on Facebook Live at I believe it is Hard Hitting Promo on Facebook right there. I just threw the link up there at the bottom. So, yeah, man, make sure you check that out. And Giancarlo, man, I cannot wait to see you in the ring on July 23rd. And Manny, man, thank you so much for making your fighters available to come on the Boxing Breakdown. You You have blessed the fans of the Boxing Breakdown to get a peek into the background and a little bit of all of these fighters, and it's kind of unprecedented. It's pretty cool that we did it, and I'm thankful that we did it, and I know the fans will love it. So I'm sorry about the little bit of sound problems we had earlier on in the program. You will have to forgive us, but that is the internet. It is what it is. But you are listening to the Boxing Breakdown. Manny, peace and love. Giancarlos, peace and love. Thank you for being on the broadcast. We'll see you next time.
Anytime.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And then Harold, man, listen, it's gonna be a great. I told you before we did the podcast. I told you, listen, this is gonna be a great card. And sure enough, you know, everyone that we talked about: Avery Sparrow, William Foster III, Christian Tapia. Oh, let me go back. Avery Sparrow, 11-3. William Foster III, 14-0. Christian Tapia, 14-0. Fernando Romero, 11-0. Giancarlos Rivera, 5-1 versus Nelson Perez, 5-0. Jeremy Cuevas facing off against, I forgot the name of the opponent, but, you know, Juan de Villa, who's his pro debut, he's facing a guy who's 1-1, Joshua Maldonado, and there's a couple of other guys that are appearing on the card as well. It's going to be a great night, man, and so tune in. Don't miss it.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So I did want to just briefly chat with you a little bit about the Ryan Garcia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. I want to chat with you a little bit about that. Now, you know, now that the all the pomp and circumstance is gone, it's just you and me on the program now. Let's chop it up, man. Like, did you get a chance to see it?
Yes. And I gotta say this about Ryan. Now we know Ryan likes to go straight back and not necessarily not necessarily use that discipline. That's because he can do it.
Yeah,
he can do it. Ali went straight back. He didn't. He could do it. Roy Jones did stuff. He did it. It was unorthodox, but he did it. Ryan does the same thing. But what was impressive to me was when Ryan got knocked down in his previous fight, it was a particular punch that he didn't see coming.
right.
Goosen obviously taught him, worked with him, and now he blocks that punch on a regular basis.
Yeah.
To me, when I see a fighter add to the defensive part of himself at a later age of his fights, 23 fights, 24 fights, that proves to me that he is still learning and he's still able to incorporate new stuff. A lot of fighters get so far and they may go to training camp on a particular discipline they need to add. And when they get in the fight, they don't even do it because they go back to what they had previously. He actually did that. So that was impressive to me. The straight right hands while he was being attacked, you know, the counter right hands were pinpoint, they were clean.
Right.
So he did a lot of great work. He showed why he is who he is, and he just kind of gave everyone an opportunity to see him. But the point about him going straight back, there's a million fighters out there going to say, oh man, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to step with him when he goes straight back. But he knows how far to do it, when to do it, how to do it. You're not going to hit him. And guess what? He's going to counter you. So he uses that flaw, if you will, which really isn't a flaw, to lure them in so he can catch them with that left hook. The other thing is he used that left hook to the head and to the body. Usually we know he's going to the body, taking them out, but he was able to place that thing to the head on several occasions and be very effective with it.
Yeah.
So he impressed me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't agree with you more. I mean, I agree with everything you just said. I actually, you know, in retrospect, looking at Javier Fortuna, you know, one of the things that I recognize is that the matchmaking was impeccable because, you know, you have a guy who's totally a game opponent stepping up to the mark, coming close to the, you know, combat zone. And Ryan Garcia is just taking advantage of that, both on the offense and the defense. So he's walking him back. And when Fortuna decided he wanted to fight, he wanted to try to get where he needed to go, you know, he was, you know, the body shots were there. As soon as he started bending and going underneath and rolling and slipping, body shots were landing on him. And that took him right out of that game. I mean, really, it was actually an outstanding performance. It really, really was.
It
And
was.
good stoppage by the referee. And Ryan Garcia advances. He's got a lot of big fights in the pipeline coming up. He's all the mental health break that he took seems to be smart move, great move to take. And I think he's back on the scene. It looks like he is I saw that he called out Tank, and he said if he can't get Tank, guess who he wants?
Who?
He wants Teofimo
Lopez.
Lopez. Yeah. So if he can't get Tank, he wants Lopez. So he's making some pretty bold call outs, and now whether or not those fights get made, Ryan Garcia was quoted as saying like, well, I'm going to make sure I record the negotiations because you're going to see, Tank, they're not going to want the fight, so I think that's interesting. And, there's going to be a lot more to come, but maybe we get a Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight before the end of the year. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't necessarily see Tank launching himself at Ryan in such a manner to take advantage of what Ryan does.
Right.
I would believe that he would have to get underneath Ryan's punches, and that in itself will be interesting. Now, we've seen Tank do it before, and Tank will take a few blows just to get where he needs to get. My concern, or what I see, is Ryan is countering so nicely. That right hand is coming. That hook is coming. He's countering with that hook. So, and we know what Tank does. So to me, that would be a great fight.
Right.
The smaller man would have to get inside on the bigger man, but the bigger man is going to have to keep that smaller man out, and that's going to be, the drama of the fight to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think there's a lot of variables. There's a lot to be broken down on podcasts to come. I'd like to do an entire podcast coming up in a couple of weeks once we get a little closer and we're able to kind of analyze that fight a little bit better. But definitely, I'm excited about the prospect of a Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, or Teofimo Lopez. I like to see either one of those fights go down, man. And they would be great. And Harold, there's another fight that took place this weekend on Showtime. I think it was Showtime Boxing. It was Mark Masago, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I can't pronounce his name. It might be the wine, but yeah, Masago, right. He's from the Philippines, and he fought Ray Vargas. And that was that was a great fight. I don't know if you guys saw that fight. Those of you tuning in, the fight was amazing. Go back and take a look at it. It's an example of, the shorter fighter, the shorter world champion in Mark Masago fighting Ray Vargas, the taller, lanky fighter from Mexico. And, it was interesting. You could see flashes of Manny Pacquiao in Mark Masago, and Ray Vargas. He's got his own style, amazing. Counter puncher, really really great use of distance and range. Really understands how to use his range, but when pushed and pressed, he'll fight like a typical Mexican fighter, even though he's longer range. But I thought one of the things that kind of, and by the way, it's duly noted that it was Nacho Beristain, World Hall of Fame World Championship trainer, facing off against
Freddie Roach,
another Hall of Famer, world class, top notch trainer in Freddie Roach. And these guys have had rivalry. Manny Pacquiao, Juan Marquez 3 times. These guys are always at each other's throats as trainers.
Yes.
I love it. I'm sure they go out to a nice steak dinner together. But, when it's time to fight, they are definitely they come with their game plans. And,
yes.
Nacho's a little ahead of the game right now on Nacho Varestein is a little ahead of the game on Freddie Roach.
You hear what he said at the interview? This is my 6th or 29th world champion.
Yeah.
He wanted that clear and precise because he has lost to Freddie the last 3 times.
Yeah.
So I could see the glee in his face that his fighter won that fight. I was like, the fighter's fault, but these two were going head up, and Nacho, he enjoyed that victory. His face was lit, and he interjected his comment because he wanted the world to know this is my 28th or 29th champion, and at the expense of Freddie Roach.
Right. 50 years. I think collectively they have over 80 years, 90 years of being trainers. It's like I think Nacho Varestein's been a trainer for 50 years, right? I mean, come on, like.
Hey, Mark, who's your adversary trainer? The other trainer across the ring, and you'd be like,
my adversary,
I need to beat him every time.
Well, personally, my adversary trainer, I don't have one because I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated right now as a coach. I haven't lost a professional bout yet, knock on wood. So I'm counting myself as an undefeated coach, and I hope to stay that way. And so I don't really have any adversaries yet, but I'm sure I'll develop one in the next 50 years. Hopefully, if I'm lucky enough to be around. I'm not going to be around for 50 years, but even 20 years. If I'm around 20 more years, hey, whatever. But, anyway, back to the fight. Mark Masaccio, this is a little, he's a smaller guy, stout, compact, quick on his feet, easy to get to right and left outside the shoulders, yo-yoing in and out, bouncing, dropping, slipping, sliding. Really, really tricky fighter. The problem is he didn't use his jab in this fight. He just, I don't know what happened, but the jab was ineffective. He needed to pump that jab once, twice, maybe even 3 times, throw a feint in between, in order to get into the position where he could actually do the work that he does so well. And I just don't know why that wasn't
Was it
working.
taken from him?
Well, no, I think no, it wasn't taken from him. He could have used it. He certainly could have doubled up on the jab, used the jab. I mean, how do you not use a jab against a long, lanky guy? You got to use the jab. I mean, that's pretty basic.
Well, you know how I always like to throw up old fights, okay? De La Hoya and Floyd. Yeah. All of a sudden, De La Hoya stopped throwing that jab. What happened? Because the retaliation from that jab coming out there caused him to stop throwing it. And when I say maybe his jab was taken from him, Yeah,
it's possible. It's possible. I mean, I'd love to interview him. I'd love to talk to him and find out what he was thinking, why he didn't throw the jab. It's certainly, a mystery to me. It's total mystery to me why you wouldn't double up on that jab to get closer to your target. Because when he got close, Harold, the work that he was doing was fabulous. And this leads me to my next point. I did not score it the way one of the judges had it. So I really felt that Mark Masaccio won that fight. Pardon me, I'm not pronouncing your name. I think he won the fight by 1 round. And it was a close fight. But, the judges, again, one of the things, and I'm going to say this for you listening in, one of the things that just always dumbfounds me, I just did 17 fights this weekend, Harold. You judge fights all the time. And whether it's amateur or pro,
this weekend.
The thing that boggles my mind every time is the guys that set up boxing just blow me away because, what they understood is that based on your viewpoint and where you're sitting, you're going to see a completely different fight from the other judge. So if there's 3 judges, 5 judges, no matter how many judges are in play, you're never going to see the same fight depending on where you're sitting around the ring. And so, watching it from television, when you have a jib, a boom and a jib moving around, catching the fight for you, telling you the story, they're giving you the story on television through a camera. when you're in the arena and you're sitting down low at the ring apron and you're looking up through ropes, you may or may not see the same fight. And you have a referee who's also walking around and they do their best. They're well trained, but you still miss, if the difference between winning the round and losing the round was one punch and the referee is in your way, you don't get to score that punch. And so it ends up being a situation where I don't know how they got to their scores. I don't know. But I'm telling you that I didn't score it that way. And, some of the earlier rounds were, could have gone either way. And I felt that this is the thing, the last 3 rounds, I gave the last 2 of the 3 rounds to Mark Masago. So, and then when I looked at the scorecards, they gave those 3 rounds, the last 3 rounds, to Ray Vargas, and that made the fight kind of go the other way. So, world champion, man, world champion gets dethroned. They take Ray Vargas is the new. Right, so congratulations to Ray Vargas.
Yes, his confidence was outstanding. I mean, he did not waver in his confidence.
Yeah.
Whereas a Filipino fighter, I saw some wavering in confidence during. And then when he had him hurt, he didn't. When I say he didn't, but for whatever reason, he didn't finish the show when he had him hurt.
Yeah,
and I chalked that up to my basic understanding of the confidence. The confidence that Nacho's fighter had was just so supreme. Like, there's no way this guy can beat me. I don't care if I'm hurt. He just had it. And I kind of saw a wane in the gentleman who lost in his confidence.
Right.
Not his skill set, but his confidence.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. There's nothing I can say except I totally agree. I think it was interesting to watch, and it was a great weekend of boxing, both, in the hole, in real action, and watching it on TV or wherever you tuned in. It was, the boxing fans were treated to a good night of boxing. And yeah, man. And Harold, we had a great podcast tonight. I was a little bummed out about the early, a couple of, I don't know what's up, man. Some places just don't have the internet that you and I have, but our broadcast has been going, super, super great here toward the end. And I apologize if you were listening in and you were getting, little minion voices or whatever that was. We do our best here at the Boxing Breakdown to deliver quality sound, and that part of the podcast was a little goofy around the edges.
Out of our hands.
Yeah, out of our hands, man. But you know what? We're delighted to be with you anyway. It's always a journey. It's always exciting. And Harold, I'm going to run this trailer one more time, and then I'll come back and we'll say our farewell to our audience.
Let me go. I've been going through so much, I swear these people let my throat. That's on me, that's on mamas. On my mama, I can't take no more, so miss me with that drama. Get your commas, get your rec straight, get your facts straight. Hold me down, I rise up on her like the tax rate. Keep my past straight, never lack faith. God been working, they gon' have to hold me back, man. And tell them, you can pick a side if you wanna. You already know who I roll with. You don't want no problems with me. Get these shackles
on my feet, yeah, they won't let me be. Won't you set me free? Pray this on me.
Yes.
I love that music. You tell Manny that I love that music right there, boy. It fits perfectly with the action, and that is a very popular piece of music right now, and it's just on point.
Yeah, man. And so the fight again. The fight is Saturday, July 23rd at the Fillmore in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Do not miss the fight. Get your tickets, man. Support local boxing. You're going to love it. These guys, it's world-class boxing. Right in the heart of Philadelphia. You do not want to miss that. And without further ado, Mr. Harold Hunt.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being with me on the program. Thanks for co-hosting the program. Thanks for interviewing the fighters. Thanks for giving you your boxing commentary. And
I love it.
yeah, thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Thank you for sharing, liking, and hitting the notifications. Thank you very much. If you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, we appreciate that. And we hope you've enjoyed being with us tonight. And until next time, peace and love. On behalf of Harold Hunt, I am Mark Roxey, the host of the Boxing Breakdown. Peace and love.
Fight fans, join host Mark Roxey and special guests as they break down all aspects of the boxing world, including news, business, management, training, promotions, fan reactions, upcoming events, matchups, future boxing stars, title fights, state of the boxing world, and all the stuff you don't see when you watch boxing. This podcast is released each week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streamed on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. It's the Boxing Breakdown, hosted by Mark Roxey.